Next thing I know, I'm jumping out a shorty window in front of a bus stop full of people, son.
Yo, y'all should do a podcast for real.
Yo, but like, what would we call the podcast though?
Boy, I don't even know, but it got to be something that represents us.
Look, man. So here's the thing. Yo, damn.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
What's the vibrations, my boys?
Chillin'.
Another Monday,
Yes, sir.
Tuesday, Wednesday, whatever you listen to this.
Episode 79 of them things.
79. Shout out to Paul Silas, who actually happened to pass away today, so rest in peace. But he passed away at the age of 79. NBA champion, the Boston Celtics, 1974, 1976. Also coached LeBron his rookie year in 2003 in Cleveland. So, shout out to another NBA great, and rest in peace.
Rest in peace. I saw the Boston Celtics playing at JFK this morning. Just to bring that up.
Oh, okay.
Mental health situation. What's the vibes for everybody?
Tired.
Yeah, end of the year.
Yeah, man.
Just trying to reset.
GP. Since this is my last for the year, I ain't want to joke around too crazy. I figured 2 would do that on his next run.
Very, very likely.
Yeah, I figured he'll do that on his next run.
Or I serious the hell y'all out at the end of the year. Who knows? Go either way with me.
But I did have some things I wanted to bring up that I've been thinking about in passing, so on and so forth, things of that nature. So you know how I do. First things first scenario. Let's say you marry a shorty who has a kid with somebody else. The kid come to live with y'all because of whatever situation the pops kicked them out or whatever, but they bad. And then you look on their computer and you find through their search history and say how to kill a parent and get away with it, and other cold case documentaries, stuff like that, researching. What do you do about that?
You want to go first, Jay?
I mean, first order of business, obviously, I would bring it to the parent. Make sure that they're aware of the situation or what their kid is looking at, and you don't want to automatically jump to conclusions, and automatically think, oh, this kid is a serial killer or whatnot. But I think first raising the awareness to the parents, because at the end of the day, you're not that person's parent, so it's really for them to handle. But at that point, you want to watch that kid. I would watch the kid close, and just try to look for different signs and things like that, and which things may need to be escalated. But I would first off start out with just speaking with the parent and kind of like seeing what's going on there.
Okay.
Fuck all that shit Dre talking about. My search history gonna be how to plead self-defense. I ain't saying a word. I'ma just make sure I'm right for when they right. Whenever they ready, I'm right. Hey, however this go, it go.
This is a kid, guys.
Son, you gonna be in a situation.
What's a kid?
You right. The Mendez brothers had different thoughts on that.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like, how old is this kid? That's important. If you like 9, it's like whatever, man. You just typing shit.
Nah, nigga.
But if you like 14, whenever you ready, I'm gonna be right.
You got kids now killing their parents at young ages and stuff like that. Like,
and it won't be me. Is what I'm telling you.
I just don't want to be in a situation where it's like something happened. And it's like, oh, we should have paid attention to the signs. We should have said something earlier. Like,
I paid attention. I saw it and I got right.
Do you tell Duke moms?
I'm not saying nothing. Whenever you ready, I'ma be right.
This nigga's crazy.
That's it. I'm not saying, because this could just be what Dre said. This could be just the kid just being angry and looking at some stupid shit. Every little kid got angry at their parents. It was like, oh, fuck you, I hate you.
Yeah.
I wish you were dead. Dumb shit like that.
I had some shit like that. I got
Like-
an ass whooping, and I was like, yo, if I see a rock right now, I'm gonna throw it at her.
Yeah, like niggas be thinking dumb shit. So I'm not gonna say nothing. I'ma just be right. I'ma be on point at that point.
What's the most? This question goes into my would you rather. But what's the most wildest shit you ever thought about revengefully? Like in that vein of the example, like just
Like to my parents?
not parents, but just like I'll go for me first. I had a bad breakup with a shorty one time, and I was contemplating going by and setting their house on fire with a Molotov cocktail.
Wow.
Just because I was hurt. And I was like, I don't care who in there, I'm going to burn that house down. Fuck y'all. Y'all ever had some shit like that?
In the same vein, I was gonna call ACS on this one bitch. Like,
I mean, one of your bitches did have an ACS case too.
I think one of my bitches, I should have called ACS on. Like, she clearly ain't give a fuck about her kid.
I don't know why, but I always had like a fascination with like running people over. Like if it ever came down to it and I had to do some wild shit, I wanted to do some wild shit, I always wanted to run somebody over. Don't know why. Don't know why. Just whatever.
I drove by that crib the other day and I was like, I almost burnt this shit down. Dead ass. But yeah, now that that's out, I got a would you rather.
Alright.
Would you rather? Oh, shout out to the Bro Code podcast, by the way. They posed this question to their listeners, and I thought it would be interesting to hear y'all too. Would you rather fight a gorilla every day for a month, but you know you'll survive after every attack, you just don't know when he gonna attack? Or every single thought that comes to your mind comes true for that 1 month?
I gotta fight the gorilla. I got real dark thoughts sometimes, bro. You know how many times I done ended existence on this planet in my mind?
Like some nuclear shit?
Bruh. That's it. On the wrong day, nigga, it's over for everybody. If I'm fucked up. Nah, I don't think I could do that.
Chief Keef?
Confirms my suspicions, yes sir.
That's my
Yeah,
shit.
be trying to tell you. I'm with two. I'm fighting the gorilla because similar to him, like my mind be wandering sometimes, and I really be thinking about some wild shit like this.
Like, imagine your girl call you late and you like, yo, she probably cheating. Now she really cheating because you thought
Exactly. Yeah.
And now I want to kill the world. Now I want the world to die. Immediate, like it's a slippery slope. I'm good. I'll just fight the gorilla.
When I heard the question, I started thinking the same thing, right? Like, I'll fight the gorilla. And then I don't know what happened, but Bill Burr popped in my mind. And he was like, niggas be lying for just anything. He's like, fuck, I forgot the milk. Remember that joke when he was like, his girl called him, he forgot the milk at the store? Fucking, I'm gonna just dry this shit into a wall, kill myself, like, fuck it. I'm like, yo, imagine I just start thinking of shit, like little shit, stupid shit.
Yeah.
But, like, that shit was on my mind. But I'll definitely fight the gorilla, because in theory, I'm thinking, yo, I'm gonna just think about money all day. But then I know me.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be sitting down and I'm gonna just wander. And then there you go.
For
Some
sure.
wild shit.
Bro, I see the wrong thing. I'm down the rabbit hole. I'm gonna think dumb shit like, yo, I wonder what God look like now. Bro, I can't do this.
It's
Like,
too much.
We already flirt with that idea of having a nice little property down in hell based on the
I'm
shit.
gonna think that and then be there. like, nah, I'm good.
I just want to say for the record though, you're not surviving a gorilla attack at all. At all.
Hey, bro. Yeah. But I just was like, yo, the question itself was just funny to me.
Hell yeah.
All right, let's get to it. Do you feel like you compromise or sacrifice more in your relationship?
As opposed to what?
Do you feel like you compromise more or sacrifice more?
Oh, these are two distinct options.
Yeah, in your relationship.
Current relationship or in general in relationships?
I mean, if you don't mind sharing about your current, feel free, but Honestly, I would want you to answer it in a position where you felt like you've clearly had to do both.
Well,
and do we know the technical terms for both, by the way?
What do you mean?
Like the definition for compromise versus sacrifice.
Yeah.
All right.
But it's weird because if I'm talking it overall now, I'm not going to be specific, but overall, I think put it like this: I think I compromised a lot more earlier in my life, and as I've gotten older, I've sacrificed more because, as I've explained to you, I've been on this journey of trying to do the right thing, and I'm learning that trying to do the right thing, a lot of times you not just sacrifice your happiness, but sometimes I don't want to say happiness because it ain't that. You sacrifice a lot of instant gratification, a lot of times.
Mm-hmm.
So, the answer is truly I think everyone does both, but I think it leaned more towards compromise, earlier on. And then went more towards sacrifice.
Before you answer, Dre.
But neither were good.
2. You said as you've gotten older, the instant gratification became, I guess, less. They occurred less, right?
Yeah, it's not that it occurred less. It's just, for me, I'm learning that a lot, at least in my life, I can't speak for everybody, a lot of times the right thing to do doesn't always feel good.
So then that'll be, you compromise more. Still.
Nah, I don't think so.
Because compromise means you're doing something that's less desirable. Right?
Yes.
So doing the right thing is doing the right thing, but doing the right thing is something you sometimes would often choose not to do.
Absolutely, I agree with you in that sense, but in the sense I'm speaking, in the context in which I'm speaking, the reason why I say it's sacrifice is because I'm doing the right thing, right? Even when I don't have to, but I'm doing it, and in a lot of situations, I'm sacrificing a lot of times my peace and a part of my sanity by doing the right thing, because I know I could be better or do better or just handle things better if I not necessarily the right decision, but if I just didn't make that decision at all. Like, I don't got to make the opposite. That's where people get confused. You don't have to make a bad decision. I could do nothing.
So you would say you value doing the right thing over your peace or whatever.
Sometimes, yeah.
Yeah, so then that's the definition of sacrifice. What about you, Dre?
I'm gonna say,
again, you don't have to answer.
Oh no, not current relationship.
Not current relationship. I just,
I'm gonna say I'll do a lot of sacrificing, in my romantic relationship and friendships and with my family and all of that. And that's based off of my personality and who I am. I think that a lot of people are not willing to, especially now, day and age where we live now, like, you know, I see people talk about like how dating is terrible and stuff like that. It seems like now people are just not willing to sacrifice certain things that they want in a relationship. Like, they want a perfect relationship, and there's no such thing as a perfect relationship. But I ultimately end up sacrificing in all my relationships just to make it easier on the other person. Because me, like, when I say I don't care, like, I don't really care. Like, it doesn't take a lot to make me happy. Like, the things that I have in my life that I'm content with, like, I'm happy. You know what I'm saying? So certain situations, even if like knowing my partner and like knowing certain people and stuff like that, if a situation comes up, I don't know, any random thing where somebody like asks a question and like somebody has to be the sacrificial goat in that situation without even like having a conversation and discussing it amongst people, I'll automatically raise my hand just to make it easy on everybody, because I'm not there to like go through all of the arguing and all of the discussion and all of that to arrive at a solution. So most of the time, if I know I don't care and it's not gonna bother me, I'll be the one to sacrifice.
Before you go, Stiz, you gotta be careful with that though, Dre, because I'm speaking from a person who's living a similar life to you, right? Mm-hmm. I've seen within myself how easily sometimes that continual sacrifice turns into resentment.
Yeah.
Like look at what I was just speaking about. A lot of times I would sacrifice my peace and my happiness because I feel like, all right, at the end of the day, I got to do the right thing, right? Mm-hmm. Or I'm trying to do the right thing, right? And in a lot of those situations, I did the right thing and I kept doing the right thing. And you don't do it for a reward. You don't do it to be rewarded. You
Absolutely
do it because
not.
you're trying to do better for the other person and be a better person yourself.
Right.
But then at some point, I can't speak for you, but for me, I hit a point where I was like, I'm not doing this for a reward, but damn, at some point, maybe I should be rewarded because I'm doing this a lot. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like maybe I deserve something.
Yeah.
And then that spin its own little web into me at like with some people resenting them for them not being appreciative the way I felt they should, or for them not reciprocating. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So you just gotta be careful with that.
Yeah, no, that's a great point. I try to definitely be aware of it. I don't like putting myself in situations where now, like you said, I'm starting to resent the person, or starting to affect my mental and I'm feeling some type of way because I feel like I'm making all these sacrifices. I try not to go that far, but again, like I said, if it's something that I know that's not really gonna affect me that much, then whatever, have at it. But I had a situation like recently where I did like kind of feel some type of way and some type of resentment with everybody that was involved because I didn't get the response, I guess the praise or like the gratification for sacrificing. I didn't get that from those people, and it kind of made me feel some type of way. Mm-hmm. But also I chucked that up to the fact that now you're used to me being like this, so you probably feel like this is just the norm and you don't have to say anything or show that gratification. But
that brings up I'm gonna go in a second, but y'all keep giving me like extra things to add on. But before I go, we already established with two scenario that doing the right thing sometimes is the higher value point in the equation, right? Yeah. As far as sacrifice versus compromise.
Right.
Doing the right thing pushes him to, I guess, cause more sacrifice with him, right? With you, I wanted to know at what point, how many sacrifices do you start compromising whatever the value that you put to the thing is? How many sacrifices does it take for you to start realizing you're compromising a lot more now? Because now you're already sacrificing for the better good or whatever you put to be this higher value.
Right.
But then, how many of those do you get till you realize you're compromising who you are as a person or who you are in total towards the entire equation of the relationship? That's for both of y'all.
Yeah. I don't think I've reached that point yet.
Okay.
I think for me, it comes where you, like he said, like where you really start to feel some type of resentment, like you really start to like feel burnt out and kind of like taken advantage of in the situation. And I haven't necessarily arrived there yet, but I can say that I've gotten close to that point because it does weigh on you. But I'm not there yet. But I'm not in the case of people taking advantage of me. Like, I won't let that happen. So there is a limit to me doing and me sacrificing, but you know where I'm at right now, like, I'm okay, I'm good.
Yeah,
Like I said, the last one hurt a little bit, but it is what it is.
I think for me, I've been past that point. Like I said in the previous situation where it was like, when that situation I'm speaking of where it turned into resentment, that was when I was like, I can't keep doing this. And do I still, like, moving forward in my life dealing with people, do I still try to do the right thing? Yes.
Right.
But I'm no longer at the point where I'm gonna do the right thing at any cost. Because at one point that's where I was. It was, I'm gonna do the right thing at any cost, even if the cost
maybe detrimental
to me.
Yeah.
And that was just a part of my journey. I went through that phase where it was like, yo, I didn't even feel like I was trying to atone for anything. It was just one of those things where it was like, I just want to put good into the universe.
Right.
Because I know how much negative I've also put into the universe. You get what I'm saying?
So you trying to, like, clean up the slate a little
bit? No, it has nothing to do with the I bring up the negative, but it has nothing to do with that. Okay. It's just knowing myself and knowing all the negative that I've put in the universe. I'm at a space where I don't have to put in negative universe, so why not just put in positive into the universe? Why not just put good into the universe? And I was so stuck in that, it was just like, why the fuck would I do that to my own detriment? So when I started to resent that person, I was just like, you could do good, you could do the right thing, but sometimes, again, you can't just do the right thing at any cost sometimes, for me.
All right. To answer my own question, again, my current relationship now, I think it's still young for me to have a distinguishing element. So I gotta speak on, like, past relationships. I feel that I was compromising a lot more. And in that compromise, I found, like, little things to cope with whatever I felt like I was compromising to. And then out of that compromise, I felt like I did the reverse, where I started realizing, like you said, I put so much bad into this relationship due to the whatever I was using to cope, right? That I tried to, like, I try to, like, sacrifice a few things that I didn't want to do or whatever, put some things up for the greater good of the relationship, right? Like, I want to make sure, like, to me, the relationship was the high point value. And I wanted to do what I can to make sure that that remains where it's at. So I started sacrificing some things, like spending time. Like, I made a conscious decision this year to just start saying yes. Like, it was a long time people would invite me to places or invite me to do certain things. I low-key feel like I isolated myself just out of a sacrifice for this relationship, because I don't have a lot of time as is. So all my free time ideally would be to go towards the relationship, but that's the valuable thing being asked of me. So I would just, like, yo, bro, come with me there, come with me here, which probably could have put me in a situation more to what I wanted to go towards in life. Feel me? Like, being in the right circles or right networking areas. And I just realized, like, I keep missing out on these situations off of a quick response, like, just because I value this thing, which I don't, like y'all said, the gratification may not even just be as present as I think it should be, because we still having the same repetitive argument about time. So in that case, I'm sacrificing what I think is the situation, but I'm losing out on so much more that I think would put much more value to me and my sanity. So now I'm just, if I should say yes to anything, not anything. I'll be like, yo, let's go somewhere. All right. Trying to be real mindful of my calendar, because I do have obligations, right? But there's no reason for me to go, I ain't go to that because, other than I ain't feel like it. Like, that should be the only reason I just don't go. Right. You feel me? Or I get a hunch or something. But I should, because that thing was removed. And I got this information from a female that said she lost most of her 20s in a relationship. So now she just exploring. Right. and she was like feeling away. She felt a little, self-conscious about it because people would call her out her name, like, yo, you wildin'. They don't understand, like, this girl been locked down for those years that people allot you to do all the wild shit. Those try years.
But that's on Shorty specifically. That's the shit that men don't take into consideration a lot of times. Like, we'll meet a girl or we'll see a girl. We don't even gotta meet her like we trying to fuck with her. We'll just see her and see how she moving without no context and go, oh, she for the streets. She out here wilding. She doing this, she doing that. And it took me meeting a lot of people and finding out, like, yo, like, that same story, I'm hearing that more where I know girls who been locked down since, like, 19 years old.
Yeah.
Been with the same dude.
2-3 kids sometimes.
And then it's like, now in their 30s, they finally, like, free.
Yeah.
And it's like, who am I to tell them they too old to be out here doing whatever they need to do? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I wanted to ask too, do you feel like, just briefly, do you feel like you compromise or sacrifice more in friendships?
I answered it already. Oh, you said what?
In friendships.
Oh.
Not relationship,
Yeah,
friendship.
it's friendships now.
I don't think I sacrifice in friendships. I think I compromise more in friendships.
Okay. Same.
Yeah, I would say the same. Friendships are a little bit more easier to me to navigate.
Do you how do I ask this? I think I asked y'all this before. Do you think you more effective or productive? That's the right word? Yeah. Do you think you more productive or effective if you're in a relationship versus you being single? Did I ever ask y'all that?
In what capacity?
Nah, I never.
So whatever your goal is, whatever your short-term, long-term goal is, do you think you being in a relationship is more conducive to get into that or prohibiting it a little bit?
I think it depends on my goal.
Okay.
Like, it really depends on my goal. Because some things... Put it like this. I've had situations where my relationship and my focus on my relationship took away from my productivity and what I was trying to accomplish. But then I also had situations where my relationship was actually the driving force. And not only the driving force, the support system and the push to get me to get to my goal.
Okay.
So it depends on the goal, and it also depends on the relationship.
Yeah, it definitely does depend on the relationship. I would say in general, I'm more productive and like more effective and could get more stuff done when I was single. But however, I will say with my current relationship now, one of the reasons why I do love it so much is because any goal that I have like in life that I ever shared with her, like, and things like that, she always helps me to make a dent in that goal or get to the next step, or just get to that milestone or whatever. So she's very supportive, and that's one thing I love about the current relationship right now. So
yeah, I think to piggyback on you, Dre, I think it depends on the relationship more so than the goal, because the goal could be whatever it is, but you got a pathway to get there. And remember too, we was talking about the other day, we was discussing the thing we want to do, and we was like, yo, certain shit could pop if your shorty is present, vice versa if she wasn't present. We're like, we could get away with it, we could explain it after and ask for forgiveness after, but we could get away with it same day. But I feel like if the relationship is solid enough, we probably could get it off if they there or not. So in my interpretation of it, I think it's based on the relationship itself.
I have to explain this when I get home now. Thank you.
Oh shit.
This nigga's crazy. Mind you, don't say we. It says you.
No, I said we was talking about it.
About you.
Mentioned it.
Exactly.
You did mention it, and then I was like, oh shit, you right.
Yo, we can edit this whole thing.
Nah, fuck that.
Completely skipped the part where he said, yeah, depending on mine too.
Yeah, because I was like, yo, depending on mine too. I was like, yo, we could get away with it.
Yo, before you move on, just to touch on something Dre said, because it rung a chord with me about
Yeah, man, touch it.
Pause.
Yeah, pause.
You mentioned something about like your shorty, like pushing you and helping you towards your goals, like any dreams or anything goals you ever like expressed to her, right?
For sure.
So I think I might have sent it to Stiz. I don't know, but I someone sent me a video on Instagram, and it was this guy explaining how, you know, he used to go to work, then he'll come home after work at like 4, and then from 4 to 9 he'll like play Madden or whatever to unwind and chill, and then after a couple years of this, his wife came to him and was just like, yo, it bothers me. Not because you're ignoring me, but it bothers me because I'm seeing you waste your potential playing this game. And he was like, ever since then, he never played the game again, and he got all successful and all that shit. And all that's fine and that's dandy for them.
Yeah.
What I had a problem with was she didn't even take the time to ask him before she shot it down.
Right.
Like my first thought was yo, is this video game thing something you want to take serious? Do you want to be a streamer? Do you want to be a YouTuber? Like, do you want to be like a professional video game? Like, none of these questions were asked. She just assumed it was a bullshit hobby and said he was wasting his potential. Exactly. And I didn't like that because I felt as though like, granted, it worked out for him. He was successful. But what if now she deterred him from his calling? Right. What if his calling was to be a popular video game streamer?
Right.
And like he never even got to realize that potential because the simple words of you're wasting your potential.
I mean, I 100% agree with you. That would bother me as well. I had a similar situation. She ain't come at me like too hard like that. She came in like on a joking angle. Like, y'all know by now, like every night I'm in my office, like I need like my hour to 2 hours just to kind of like unwind, meditate, do my thing. But my girl, sometimes she thinks like I'm in that office just smoking and that's it, and just listening to music and nothing's really being done. But like one day she did come in the office on a plane and go like, yo, you just ain't hear this bullshit, and then I had to pull up all my Google tabs and what I was working on in PowerPoint and stuff like that. I'm like, nah, I'm in here like trying to get to it, trying to come up with ideas and stuff like that. And that was another instance where she was like, oh, okay, let me support you and help you with this and give you ideas and stuff like that. But again, 100% agree with you. Like, if you're not asking the right questions, are you automatically just assuming and shitting on this person's hobby or whatever they got going on? You shouldn't do that.
Facts. Yeah, that shit just rubbed me the wrong way. Because again, has she led with any of those questions? Like, yo, is this what you want to do? And if he had said, nah, I just do this for fun, and then she want to shit on it, that's fine.
Yeah.
But you asked 0 questions and just assumed like this was like ruining his life. I don't know. I don't like that shit like that.
Yo. Do you think friends or relationships got some type of entitlement? Well, no. Well, yeah. Do you think they could garnish some type of entitlement from any of your success?
What do you mean?
I don't want to say the word "oh," because that's a funny word.
Yeah.
But entitlement, like, you think they can feel entitled to any of your success, both friends and relationships?
I think they can. Are they right? No. Well, I don't know if they right. What I'm saying is anybody can feel anything.
Like, yo, that nigga just came up with 100 mil. He should at least prop me with 10.
they can feel that way. That don't mean I'm giving it to them.
Okay.
Yeah,
Like
same.
I've seen dudes I know be with girls while they both was trying to get to it, and then dude get up, and now this girl feel like, yo, you should at least hit me with something because I was there for you when you was down or when we was both trying to grind. And I'm like, that's a twisted way to look at shit because you not even realizing maybe you exiting his life is what boosted him to get to where he is. Maybe you were holding him down.
Yeah.
And vice versa. I've seen it with women and dudes. I don't want to just put it on women, but it's just, again, I'm at a point in my life, bro. People can feel what they want to feel. You could feel entitled to anything. Like I could have whatever success I have or whatever my whatever I'm like. But that I can speak for me. I don't feel like, perfect example. You two. I use y'all as what's the word I'm looking for? I look at y'all and use y'all as motivation. Like when I see y'all get like new jobs and new promotions and new shit like that, I'm like, damn. Like I got one too a couple years ago, but I'm trying to get another one. You know what I'm saying? I use y'all as like, yo, I'm trying to not, and again, it ain't about competing, it's not about the race. I'm just trying to, if my boys is elevating, why wouldn't I want to elevate with them? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Facts.
Yeah.
But I never look at it and go, damn, Dre got this new job. Dre should do something to help me. Or Dre should put me in position.
Nah.
Well, I ask, yo, bro, if you can. If you can, feel free. But it's not like you don't owe me that favor.
Yeah.
Just because we cool. You don't owe, just like Stiz, you don't owe me to put me in a position. If you can and I ask, or even if I don't ask, if you can and you choose to, that's on you. But nobody owe me nothing. That's a wild way to look at shit. Just because you're a friend or your boyfriend or whatever, or your girlfriend is in a position that you are owed to be put in position. That's crazy.
Yeah, very weird. Very weird.
Yeah, I agree. I do feel though that, matter of fact, no. I was gonna say, like, I feel like if the closer we are, certain things should just, like, what's understood don't need to be said, right? But even that comes with a grain of salt, because, like, I just used the example. If you caught 100 mil, I expect something, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I can't determine what that something is.
Right.
And with that being said, like, I don't expect shit. Like, if you say, yo, bro, I got you, bro, I'm gonna just give you a band, or we out and you just cover the bill, like, out of that's something you, like, I expect that from you. But for me to come saying, yo, you got 100 mil, bro, I deserve like 10. Like, why?
Right.
You feel me? Like, that's my train of thought to it. Like, why you feel like you deserve any of this?
I'm not gonna lie, bro. If I give you the $1 that you bought the lottery ticket with, you owe me something. I don't give a fuck what nobody say. Nah, I don't give a fuck what you say.
You stupid.
That's the only time where I'm like, yo, I don't need half.
But that
I don't
should
need a quarter.
That should be on business though, right? Like,
But,
you should stand on business behind it.
like, if I literally, you go, yo, I want to go get a lottery ticket, and I hand you the $2 because that's I had two, and you win right there, bro, I'm not saying nothing, but just know I'm gonna look at you and go,
We could talk about that.
yo, I need something.
Nah, that's
You can't just leave me in poverty. I'm more impoverished after giving you my last $2.
I'm gonna give you $1 back and be gone.
Nigga, so I ain't even gonna break a 10. I'm gonna just give it to you. Yeah, bro. Interest.
But that's the only way I'd be like, somebody owe me something. Other than that, man, listen, man.
Yeah, I think Owen is different.
Yeah, Owen is weird, bro. But remember, we had this conversation a long time ago about friends, and it's like, that old words bothers me a lot, especially in friendships and shit, because a lot of people feel like because y'all so close, you owe them something, and it's like, no, I don't owe you anything. I remember when we talked about it before. We were talking about even when it comes down to respect. We was like, do you owe somebody respect? And I'm like, you don't owe them anything.
Right.
You should be kind to old people as a courtesy.
Yeah.
That's directly a courtesy, not just to your friend, but to the world.
Anybody.
But you don't owe anybody respect.
That's a fact.
In my book, I don't owe anybody anything. Respect or my camaraderie or my friendship is earned.
Nah, you're right. Well, so here's the news. All right. Not too much to talk about. I'm not going to talk about the obvious thing. So let's get that out of our head now. If y'all want to bring it up, that's on y'all.
I don't even know what we talking about.
Exactly. Cool. So I wanted to start first and foremost, another RP to Takeoff. You know, they arrested the suspected killer.
Mm-hmm.
So I just think that's good to, have out there. At least the mom could start, like the family could just start the grieving process. Because they know like someone's being held accountable for the murder and taking their loved one away.
Yeah, small wins.
Small wins. Obviously life can't be returned, so this is the best we could do now.
Yeah.
In that same vein though, his moms and his pops is fighting over the estate. I think something about 50 something million or something like that. Maybe 28 million. The number is weird. Not getting into it.
A lot of money.
It's a lot of, it's millions.
Yeah.
On the estate. Because he didn't have a will.
Right.
What's your thoughts on that? On the family fighting? And how important is it that with or without money, with or without investment, with or without assets, that you secure your business for the afterlife if you're no longer? Like, how important is that? The same way you set, let me just go. For me, I think the same way you set up a bank account, trust fund, CPA, and all that nigga shit, I feel like that should be part of the breakdown. Mm-hmm. Just to be prepared on all fronts. Right? Because when we signed up for our job, that was the first thing they gave us.
Right. On
day one. What do you want to do with this bread if you die? Now, granted, a lot of it came from what you want to do with this bread if you die at work. Yeah. But they had an option there for what do you want to do with this bread, period, right? Mm-hmm. Do you think that should be part of the I guess, the conception of your business if you come into anything?
Absolutely. I understand. What I'm gonna say is this: I understand. He was a relatively young dude.
Yeah, 20, 30.
Like he's living his life. He's a superstar running around.
This shit get louder?
To it.
No, not to different songs and all of that.
But yeah, like he's running around getting it. So I understand feeling like, yo, I got time to get to that. You know what I'm saying? No one expects, you know what I'm saying, the end to come.
Right.
Especially in the tragic way he went.
True that.
So it's one of those things where it's like, I understand that, but it's just sad. That's how I feel. I feel bad that he didn't get it done, and I feel bad that the family's fighting, but the truth of the matter is that's what has to happen at this point.
How you think, before you go ahead, Dre, go ahead.
No, I mean, it's more or less the same thing. I feel bad because, again, the family is fighting, and then it's taken away from, a beautiful, beloved soul and all of that. Like, now there's different headlines and stuff like that, and it's all centered around drama. So I'm with you. That is something that should be set up from the very beginning so you can avoid these obstacles when these tragic situations happen. But also, it goes back to the conversation we were just having. Like, the family is fighting, and that's partly because they probably feel like they're owed something. And I'm not in the family, so I don't know what they contributed to, Takeoff's success and his upbringing and stuff like that. But it could be a situation where his father wasn't even present, and you fighting just because you're the father and you feel like you're owed this money and stuff like that. I feel like that is solely the person who is responsible for that money. That's their decision to see who gets what and how it's divvied up. So that's why I think it's important from the beginning that you establish that.
What I wish the courts would just do is like, because if the parents are the next of kin, Instead of this being a fight, yo, y'all both equally his parent. We gonna divvy up the. Either way, it's millions of dollars.
Right.
Split it down the middle.
Yeah.
Here y'all go. Go about y'all business.
Right.
And I don't see how nobody could be upset about that.
Yeah, I don't see that either. I mean, it does. Well, no, I don't see it.
I mean,
So
I do see it in the scenario Dre said, where it was like maybe moms
felt was more present.
Not even just more present. Let's not even talk about him as them as parents. The moms might have been, or the dad. One of them could have been the one supporting his career in the beginning.
Pouring money.
One could have been the one putting money into them, making mixtapes, videos, this and the third.
Yeah.
So I could understand that entitlement of, yo, I helped build this career. Yeah, you was their parent, but I helped actually build this career, so I'm entitled to whatever. So, but
I feel like to add on to what you said, like a standard across the board. Because I just learned this. Cause I was doing a living will for somebody. If you don't have a will, the government hitting you either way. Mm-hmm. So they're getting a piece either way. Mm-hmm. Right? But standard should be if you don't have one, then it should just automatically get split down.
I think it goes to your kid if you got kids.
Well, if you got a kid, obviously, right? But if you don't, does he have kids?
No, he don't. You know.
If you don't have a child and no living will, then it should get split if the parents is alive.
Yeah, no, but I think it goes to whoever your next of kin is, just in case, whatever. But if your next of kin would be your parents, then they would have to go to both.
You just split
if you know who they are.
It's easier.
Yeah,
it is.
And I'm taking this away from Takeoff. I don't know this man. I don't know his business. I don't know his life. I'm just talking generally now, as far as life and life after. Those things should be in play.
Like I'm gonna be honest, even as like the parent in that situation, me, I lose my kid, I'm not trying to fight with you over money.
Facts.
Like
that's why I said like
little
wins.
Split it, take half, whatever.
Right.
I want to grieve my child.
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't want to focus on this. I don't got time to go to court about this.
That's all I got for music. Let's go on to other shit.
That was music?
Please, music.
Music, Jace. I got you.
There's a school in Texas. Not school in Texas. There's a district of schools in Texas that's sending DNA kits to parents to collect DNA for the kids that go to the school. It's in the light of the Uvalde murder, the mass murder. The purpose of this is to collect this DNA data to help identify your kid in the event of some next shit happening. What are your thoughts? I personally think this shit is crazy.
I got one thing I need to know first. Is this like in the school database, or are they sending this to any type of law enforcement or government agency?
They said that it was sanctioned by the state to send to the school, to the district, to parents in the school.
The state approved that they can do it, but where is the data going?
I don't know where it's going. That's all the story.
Because here's my thing. Simply based off what you said, like, to be able to identify the child, if it's in the school's database and that's as far as it's gonna go, and then they can use, like, the police can have access in the event of an emergency, I don't think I'd have a crazy problem with it. I'd still feel weird about it, but if they say, hey, we're gonna take this and it's gonna be stored in a government or state or federal database,
no,
absolutely not. The fuck, hell no.
And that's where my mind automatically goes, like government database and all of that. That's like when I hear DNA stuff like that, even with this AI stuff going on right now, like when I see all of that stuff,
What he do?
No. You don't see the
artificial
intelligence and all of that. I'm like going crazy.
This nigga said, what he do?
I'm like, what Allen Iverson do?
Even with that, I'm wary. I'm like, yo, this is just another way for them to, you know what I mean? I don't know. I'm with too. Like if it's within the school and this is gonna, in the event that an emergency does happen, things like that, that's helping the process a little bit. So I get that, and I'll be a little bit more lenient to do that. But You know, like we said, like if it's the government and all of that, then nah.
Yeah, still not 100% on board.
Right.
But again, if the database is within the school and it's like literally held by the school, unless an emergency happens, I could understand that. I cannot understand letting because we all dealt with the government. We know how that shit go.
Yeah.
If the government has it. Now, when, God forbid, another tragedy happens, they gotta wait however many business days to get the information back from the government to come to... Fuck out of here. What was the point of this?
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like that dental records thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm agreeing with y'all. At first, I just heard it on face value. I was like, y'all niggas is crazy. Because I could just imagine getting a kit in the crib, or you send my kid home with a kit saying, yo, collect the spit. And then we just gonna hold it for a little bit, just in case some emergency shit happens. I just think that's wild. Moving on to sports real quick. You think Pat Bev was right on his assessment of Chris Paul? How niggas don't like this nigga?
Oh,
I think we all knew niggas ain't like it.
I don't like him. Nah, that's actually my favorite point guard, but I don't like. I know if I was to play against him, I would hate playing against him.
You could be a favorite and still hate a nigga.
I think his antics on the floor is a little weird. How you feel about the Zion dunking at the end of the game the other night?
Nothing wrong with it.
Yeah,
Very
I ain't seen nothing
appropriate.
wrong with it.
Yeah, I think
You sent my team home last year.
Yep.
And y'all was getting crazy. So now I'm gonna show y'all what it is when I'm here in full effect.
Yeah, because he wasn't there, right?
And
so I'm here now.
And it was a home crowd.
And it wasn't a blowout.
Yeah, it wasn't crazy like y'all. Yeah.
Because I do know that there's a professional courtesy in basketball.
Yeah, no, 100%.
Right? Like I know that.
Find me then. Find me.
But nah, I don't think that was bad, bro. Like
That's
I
what I'm
think
saying.
them niggas starting to fight because they felt salty was a little weird.
No, and then they did the right thing. They came back and beat them right again.
I seen a clip of Bronny James.
They played tonight, bro.
Oh, they do?
Cayenne and Carmelo's son versus LeBron's son tonight.
Real shit. Y'all following them, the young ones?
Yeah.
Who y'all think better?
Bryce.
No, I was talking about between Melo's son and
Melo and
Bron.
Oh, Cayenne. I think he got more skills.
Yeah. I feel the same. Low key, Kenyon Martin's son gonna be a fucking beast, bro.
Kenyon Martin, you said?
He in the league already, right?
No.
Kenyon Martin Jr.?
No. He has another son that's in high school.
Oh, word?
Yeah, I think. If I'm not mistaken, he got another son that's in high school.
I'm like, nigga, I just saw this nigga playing. He played for Houston.
So a lot of them brothers seen Gilbert Arenas' son playing the other day. He's crazy also. Like, future
Word?
bright for these kids. Yeah. Dwayne Wade's son. Trash.
Tread like, oh, all right.
Yeah. Nah, his son is
No. His son, not his daughter.
Okay.
His son is trash.
But he played for Utah G League, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was trash.
He's but
Probably could bust my ass, but he trash.
nah, 100%. 100%. Your ass.
While we here, you said what?
Say your ass, no.
He bust yours too. Bro, as long as he don't give me a wide open layup.
Hey, brother.
Hey, brother.
Bro, I don't like using the words trash because any nigga in any league couldn't beat me. I'm not good enough to make it to any league.
Two more things in sports. What y'all think of the Deion Sanders debacle? For those who don't know,
I actually
Fame.
don't know what's going on with that.
I'll loop you in. Hall of Fame NFL player. I don't know if he went to the Hall for baseball. He was a star baseball player as well. Retired for mad years. Started coaching, being an assistant coach in a little like JUCOs and shit like that. And then he picked up the Jackson State, HBCU Jackson State head coaching job. When he got the job, he was quoted like when they asked him why he chose Jackson State because he could have went anywhere else. Mm-hmm. He was like he just wanted to bring light.
Well, to be clear, he couldn't have gone anywhere else. That's part of the problem.
Right.
Because there were places like Power 5 schools that they weren't trying to take him.
Right. So he went to Jackson State, brought light to the HBCU. programs or whatever the case is. Ran they shit up. He was there for 3 years. Ran they shit up. Turned their whole season around. The best that they had in like 49 years. Or some
Got them
wild
some
shit.
really good recruits.
Got some really good recruits. Top 5 recruits in the country. A lot of money, a lot of attention. Now HBCUs is part of that big TV deal on ABC for the Saturday games and shit like that. For a lot of y'all don't know, college football is very big on Saturdays, and for a long time.
Yo, recently found out that deal happened before Deion, by the way.
Yeah,
like,
what I'm
that
saying
was a
is,
thing that was going on before Deion. Like a lot of people, I'm only saying that because a lot of people are giving Deion credit for that.
Right.
And that deal was happening before him.
Gotcha.
But for a lot of y'all that don't know, a lot of the college football is big on Saturdays, and not all, but a lot of HBCUs just wasn't part of it. A lot of the games wasn't televised on the same platform that Alabama, Ohio, these type of colleges were. Power 5, like he said. After this undefeated season, he took up a job at a Power 5, Colorado State. He's there now, leaving Jackson State or whatever. So everybody calling him a sellout. Not everybody. A lot of people calling him a sellout. A lot of people is mad about him leaving because he was all about this: bring money to the HBCU, bring money to bring awareness to the HBCU, and he left. And Don Lemon from CNN said that he sold a dream that he knew was impossible. He got the people to believe in. He left. I just wanted to know: do you think his move was a sellout?
No.
Didn't he leave it better than what it was?
Absolutely.
That's
So,
why I'm saying no.
Yeah, I don't consider that a sellout based off of what I just heard.
Also, I want to just give you further context. When taking the job in Jackson State, he was quoted saying, "My dream is to eventually get to a Power 5 school, specifically Florida." That's where he wanted to go, Florida State, I believe.
Right, because he live in Florida.
That's what he wanted. He always wanted that. He made that clear to not just Jackson State. Everyone, he told him like, "Yo, my goal is to get there. So why would he not take this opportunity?"
Right.
Like, it's weird that people are like, "Oh, sooner." Like, I don't care how people feel. You can feel he did a good thing. You can feel he did a bad thing. My only thing I don't like is people saying he did this for the money, which sounds insane to me because they offered him 1.2 for the 4 years, and he told them take half of his salary to build the school a new facility instead of even paying him.
Yep. Oh yeah.
Yep.
And then people got the nerve to go, he's doing this for the money? When he was coaching high school football, he was doing that for the money? When he had the Prime Academy that unfortunately got closed down, he was doing that for the money? He's shown and proved that he's been doing this because he loves football and he has a goal he wants to achieve. I don't think money had nothing to do with it.
Facts.
That's the one thing I don't like. I don't like that. You can feel however you feel about the decision, but don't make it seem like he's out here just doing shit for money. That's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I just feel like people just like to be outraged. They want to be outraged about something and everything. So,
on the flip side of that, I see the other side. By the way, I completely see the other side. I completely understand him sitting as a black man sitting in these other black families' living rooms, telling them like, "Yo, I'm gonna be the person here to take care of your kid. I'm gonna be the one taking care of your son, your daughter. Not your daughter, your son, your grandson, your nephew, your whatever. I'm gonna be here for him for the next 4 years."
yeah.
Right.
And just like kind of upheaving them, and then now they lost without that figure that they was expecting to have.
Right.
So I understand that aspect of it. By the way, I'm not just like neglecting that because it's not. I just can't see myself personally, even if I was in that situation, being mad at somebody moving on to a better situation for them, not just them and their son, because his son also went to Colorado with him.
Both of them.
Mm-hmm.
Both of them. So, you know.
All right, my last thing. Obviously we know the biggest news right now going on is Brittney Griner's home. So I just want to say before I get into this, welcome home.
Welcome home.
Welcome home.
Your crime and the time you got for the crime is weird. But the reason I bring that up, because I was explaining the situation, and I try to write down exactly what I was saying, because I was just talking to one of my homeboys, and somebody overheard and was like, yo, you should bring that up on your podcast. I was like, well, wouldn't you know it? Happens to be my episode. So I'm going to just but I'm going to just spill what I had, right? The timeline. Brittney Griner got locked up for a weed cartridge, weed oil, right? While they found it in her bag while out in Russia, right? On some accidentally shit. She got sentenced to like a decade. Right. She got sentenced to like a decade.
9 of them things.
Started her sentence. Cool?
Cool.
Simultaneously, Russia and Ukraine started they bullshit. So they fighting they war. Whatever.
Didn't they invade Ukraine first?
Nah, she was already locked up.
For real? I could have swore. Oh, I'm tripping.
They invaded, then she got sentenced, but she was already detained.
Okay. Oh, okay, yeah.
And President Biden and his administration was in negotiations to try to get her back. This is before the swap was on the table. Right. It was just trying to get her back.
Right.
Russia being in they bullshit with Ukraine, they put some negotiation options on the table. Let me read the negotiation options on the table. Give us Brittney Griner back. And we gonna need, this is America. Give us Brittney Griner back. And we gonna need Paul Whelan, who's a U.S. Marine, retired U.S. Marine, who's out there, got caught on some espionage spy shit. Allegedly. He denied it. U.S. denied it, of course. And he out there serving, I think, like 16 years,
something like that. Yeah.
Today, he's on his 4th year of that 16 year split. That's what we asking for.
Right.
Russia then goes, all right, I'm gonna do that, but y'all gotta give us Victor Bout. Victor Bout. They just asked for one nigga, by the way. So we offering to get 2 and for your 1.
Right.
But let me run down Victor Bout, just some of his shit. He doing 25 in jail right now.
Shooting
after
enthusiast.
already was doing 5 from Thailand. We got him from Thailand. But he doing 25 in America for conspiracy to kill Americans, arms dealing, drug transportation internationally, delivering anti-aircraft missiles. Niggas call him the Merchant of Death. For furthermore reference, the movie Nicolas Cage did, Lord of War, is loosely based on him. This is the nigga. For Brittney Griner.
Yes.
Hold on. There's more. We already traded a cocaine dealer with Russia under the Trump joint. But Trump had to play that smooth because he was already going through the collusion with the election shit. So they ain't want to, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
But there's this nigga named Trevor Reed who got another Marine. My message to y'all Marines is stay the fuck out of Russia. But a Marine named Trevor Reed was out there. He was serving time for assault, right? We swapped for Trevor Reed. This cocaine smuggling nigga. Some Yusuf long ass name nigga. I ain't write down her name. But when I was talking, I remember the nigga name was some Yusuf shit. This is what we already did this year. We didn't get Whelan back, the Marine, but we got Brittney Griner back.
Yep.
That's the timeline as it is. Victor Bout is already in Russia.
Yep.
We straight.
Yep.
What's y'all thoughts? Do you think this was a justified swap?
Absolutely not. I think that I'm just going off of what I think and what I know. I know that the election is coming up soon again. I know Joe Biden is probably gonna run for re-election or whatever. I know that Brittney Griner is a woman. I know that she's a black woman. I know that she's also part of the LBGT plus community. Sorry if I messed that up. This makes him look great. I think at the end of the day, they were going to do whatever they needed to do to get this person home, to get Brittney home. Again, I'm happy she's home, but the instances and the hurdles that we had to go through to get her, raising my eyebrow a little bit. You know what I'm saying? The merch of the death, like it don't make sense to me logically, but I just know that politicians and stuff like that, they know how to play the game and they know what they're doing ultimately at the end of the day. So
we said it before on this podcast. I'm gonna say it again. If the Lord of War is behind bars, keep him there.
right.
Get us canceled too.
Nah, I ain't going that route. What I will say is, welcome home.
Yeah, facts.
They definitely deserve to be home
For sure.
But what I'm gonna say is this: it ain't even about the trade. The trade, feel how you want to feel about the trade. What I want to do is me, myself, and I want all of us in this community to look Joe Biden and his administration in the face and say, it's crazy that we have thousands of people locked up for the same crime you just gave up the merchant of death for a basketball player. We have them imprisoned here by your legislation, and they're still locked up federally. Maybe you should do some fucking work at home.
She could have sat that
My
nine.
thought. My thought. Do some fucking work at home.
If you would have fixed up your house, I would have been okay if she sat 9. Welcome home though.
God bless to the
Welcome home.
Griner family.
100.
Facts. That is another one.
We want to hear from y'all. We want to know what y'all think of this episode. We want to know how y'all feel about everything. Reach out to us. SHTT Pod on Facebook and Twitter. And it's a social media thing, ain't your thing. So here's the thing at yahoo.com.
Yeah, man, check out the visuals on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? That's our So Here's the Thing podcast. Check us out on all audio platforms: Spotify, Apple, SoundCloud. Also, Here's the Thing.
Yeah, man, you
that
know
up.
what it is with me. It's your boy Stizzy, baby.
Stilo.
2. Another one.
Yes, sir.